How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Daily Endeavours for Wednesday, the 17th of September. Before I get to Endeavours, just know the time codes will be in the description if you want to jump ahead, or if you're just looking for one Endeavour in particular. I just want to go through the Gone Pursuit first, though, because Dungeon Descent has just rocked up. Now, personally, I think 14 days for this one, as opposed to the last one, which was, I think, 21 days. I think it is a little kind of rough, that much time for one that is essentially much more group focused. The amount of preparation needed for this one is more, so yeah, I'm a little bummed out about that. I think this one should have been longer, especially since that amount of keys is really good. But yeah, most of the options here, there's 21 options in total. You can skip a couple of them, but basically a lot of this stuff is very like sort of group focused, especially with the if you want to do earning ranks in the Untorted skill line, the quickest way by far is to do high difficulty pledges and getting the challenges done in the dungeons, like the no death, the speed runs, that sort of thing. That is absolutely the fastest way, and that's very group and like really. I mean, this day and age, it's not super coordinated group focus, but you do need to have at least some competent people to do veteran ones like that. I guess you only need to do like a few of those, though. But 3 ranks, and it depends if you've done a lot of those anyway. If you have the characters that you've done a lot of those runs on, they've already probably done them a lot anyway. So you're gonna like have to pick new characters because like the higher ranks tend to require more XP than the lower ones. You know how it is. So I'll just run through what I think the easiest ones are in order to the worst ones. Daily login calendar, definitely do these two if you can. Start them early, because easiest one obviously by far. Just go to announcements when you log in, and the reward will be here. On console, it'll look slightly different. You just have to press the start button, and then announcements will show up in a different UI. Yeah, it's basically the same thing, and it's just basically press one button or click one button and you're done. The next best by far is going to be public dungeon bosses. Go to the lost city of the Notatambu in Alika Desert, over here. Do this public dungeon group event. Just look up on the web, Notatambu group event, and there should be a map that shows you where to find it. That one there will give you 3 bosses, and it respawns every 30 seconds. It is without any near equal the fastest bosses that spawn, and it's like a group of them, so you can get this done in about 3 minutes, like worst case scenario. So yeah, these 3 are great. So that'll get you to 5s, which is your gold, and then personally I would choose would choose, if you can, to do 1 or 2 of these. A lot of these though are they are not, you can't solo them. The only ones you can are Spindle Clutch 2 and Banish Cells 1. Every other one, while you can theoretically solo most of these, Direfrost Keep, there's a double button that stops you from being able to progress if you're on your own, unless you do very specific things like use Streak or something like that to be in both button areas at once. Vaults of Madness has a boss that stuns you for a very long time, and if you do this on normal, you can, if you have a companion, it's basically pretty easy, especially if your companion's a healer, because they'll just keep you alive while you're stunned, and that's fine. But if you solo, it's quite rough. Crypt of Hearts 2, the final boss does an attack that you cannot avoid, as far as I'm aware, solo, because it stuns you and puts a shield effect, I believe, on the boss, and if the shield's not removed by somebody else in that time, you die. I don't know if companions can get through that shield. I would not want to spend the time trying. Just do it with a group. It's much easier. And then Funnel Grotto 2 is very similar. There's the second boss, Geman Bandu, I believe her name is. She's got an attack that puts 4 shades on you, or enemies, and they lock you down, they stun you, and until one of the enemies are killed, eventually you'll just die. Like, there's a mechanic there. If they're not killed in a certain amount of time, you'll just die. So yeah, Spindle Clutch 2 and Vanish Souls 1, do these on your own, I think. Spindle Clutch 2 is a little bit more difficult, but not super difficult on normal. It's pretty straightforward. And yeah, they're all on, like, with a group, normal is just a cakewalk. And these are much faster than actually, like, doing just these ones here. But yeah, that would be my next choice, because I know delve bosses are easier, but I find that with the delve bosses, there's so many people around waiting for these delve bosses. You have to be you have to be really on the ball to make sure you kill them, or like deal any damage to them in time, because they're very weak, and if there's too many players, other players will kill them super fast and you won't be able to get any participation, because you actually have to do a little bit of damage. My advice here would be, like, I'd definitely do this after the group bosses, or like the group dungeons, but try and find like an obscene like DLC zone somewhere, like Blackwood, like in the furthest reaches of like one of the dells that's like super far away from a way shrine. Maybe something like Doomvault Porksixid, or Porksixid, I don't know how to spell that, but yeah, something like that, something out of the way that not many other people will go to, just so when you get there, there's a good chance that the delve boss will be alive. But yeah, I don't know if that's the case. For the dungeons, like the specific dungeons, maybe check through Group Finder Dungeon just to see if anyone else is trying to do the same thing. Or go to Dungeon Finder, and when you queue, go specific dungeons, and in normal, look for the ones that you need the endeavors for. So it'd be, yeah, you go Fungal 2 there. You've also got Spindle Clutch 2 and Vanish Souls 1 here. You've got where is it? Crypt of Hearts 2, Direfrost Keep, Vaults of Madness. I think Vaults of Madness is locked to you until you're level 45. Though I think, can't you just walk in before that? Isn't there like a, I don't know. Yeah, whatever. Not important. Yeah, you can, while you're doing your group dungeons, you can also try and do pledges if they're up. Just keep in mind with pledges, for the regular pledges, it's 1 key for normal, and then 2 keys if you do veteran hard mode. Don't bother with veteran, just either do normal on your own, or like if you can do it with like a companion or something, because then you're not waiting for people, so it's faster, or just do veteran hard mode non-DLC. If it is DLC, I think it's normal is 1, veteran is 2, and veteran hard mode is 3. That's the only time it's different. But there's no reason to do regular veteran not like base game dungeons. There's no reason, unless you want the helm, but most of them are not that great. I think earning a rank in the Undaunted skill line is going to be the least reliable. It could be pretty easy getting 1 if you've just got like a character that can do pledges that you haven't done Undaunted stuff at all, but it's pretty slow. Like most ways to get Undaunted is going to be through achievements. Like any achievement that you get for like veteran dungeons, these are the things you get the points for. So any of that, any of this, this gives you XP for the Undaunted skill line, and as you can see, like it's like 10. Some of these, like the easy ones, get a 10, and you need at the higher levels of Undaunted, you need a lot. So this is going to take a while, and yeah, it requires the most coordination to progress quickly. So my advice, just skip those. Just do all the other ones. And yeah, you only need 15, so you can skip a couple. I would definitely skip these 2 if you can, just because they're so annoying. Alright, I think that's enough info. Let's just jump into endeavors now. Advice here is to go Clockwork Foes, Containers, and Crafting Items with any skill. You can sort of do these almost entirely in one location. Duel is pretty easy though. Archival Fortunes, I wouldn't do this unless you just love Infinite Archive and do this shit all the time. Because while spending 2,000 is quick, earning 2,000 takes a long time. It is far longer than any of the other endeavors are going to take. So my advice is, unless you absolutely like, and especially like unless there's only something that you want to buy, don't do this shit. It's so much. it's not worth the 10 seals for actually earning your Endeavors seals. Just do the other stuff. So firstly, I'll just cover duels real quick. When you go out to people, there'll be a button to interact with them near your health bar at the bottom middle. Just hold this down. There'll be a wheel that comes up. Dueling is in the top left. It'll be very similar for console, just the UI will look slightly different. Now, the only way to forfeit a duel, to not count towards it, is to, when you start the duel, there'll be a flag that shows up in the area that you start the duel. If you run too far away from that flag, it forfeits the duel. It doesn't actually forfeit for the other person. So just, yeah, as long as whoever forfeits it that way just is aware that's going to happen, yeah, any other way works. So kill them, have them kill you, or just have them leave the area, provided that they're aware that that's going to forfeit the duel for them. Okay, so let's talk about crafting with any skill. In my opinion, the only way you should do this is to use the provisioning stuff that you can find in Auridon at the pier over here. But first, you need to have a couple of recipes. It is a little bit of a gold investment initially to buy these, but once you have them, you don't need to buy anything else. This will not cost you any gold from this point on, and it's very quick to do. So just buy the banana surprise recipe and the baked apples recipe. You can use these from level 1, don't need any prerequisites, no skill points required or anything. So just use those two up, and then you want to head over to this pier over here in Auridon. So once you get here, you're looking for 3 things. The tray over here with some bananas and apples on it, just take this stuff. That should usually be enough. As you can see, it also counts for looting containers, which is great. The apple basket here, and then the apple basket here. Now, if you want, you can just take from everything else until you hit the loot containers one. So yeah, very easy. The reason I come here over other places, because yeah, there's heaps of places that have apples and stuff you can use to craft, but this is not stolen. Most of the other places will give you a bounty if people take it. So yeah, this place doesn't, and it's right next to a way shrine that you start with at the beginning of the game. So yeah, it's just very easy to use. Now, once you got those, what you want to do is come over to this cooking station, and yeah, just craft the baked apples of banana surprise until you've sorted it out. And you only need 4, so there should be at least 4 items at that place. If there isn't, you either leave the zone and come back and just do the same thing, or when you're here, queue for Imperial City, go in, go through the exit, through the little circular tunnel. Just as soon as you go in, you'll see it straight as soon as you get in, and then you'll get teleported straight back here, and you can just loot everything again, because it'll reset all the containers. Alright, now we are headed to... You can either use, for Clockwork Foes, you can either use Clockwork City over here, especially through the oil river down here. There's a lot of automaton, factotum sorts of enemies there. But what I prefer to use is the instanced area, Halls of Fabrication. The reason for this is an instance area. The enemies in Clockwork City, or if you use the Disquiet Study, which is an area in Necrom. So if you don't have Clockwork City, you can also use the Necrom DLC, because Disquiet Study has the clan feel-like factotums. So I'll just give a sec to go through the load screen. So if you're going to use Necrom, you go to Apocrypha, Disquiet Study here, and it's in the sort of north central area. If you want to get here quick, use the Tower of the Unutterable Truth, but you do need the Necrom DLC to get access to that. You either need Necrom DLC or you need the Clockwork City DLC. But for this one though, I prefer to use Halls of Fabrication because it's instant. So in these other areas, they're overland, so if you go there, there's a good chance that other people will be going here for the same thing, because this is usually where everybody else goes. But with Halls of Fabrication, nobody else can actually come in here unless you're in your group, and it means that all the enemies in here are spawned ready to fight, so you're not wasting time for stuff to respawn. There's also a cooking fire here. If you want to grab your apples and your bananas and then come straight in here, you can cook in here too, or if you forget to, you can do that. Now, we want to go to Abenami Cave, and right in front of us here, there's going to be a big group of enemies here to kill. So all of these are what are they called? Clockwork Foes. They all count. So you'll have the Nyx Hounds, you'll have the Shulks, and then you'll have the big Kaguti. Probably don't worry about the Kaguti because you kill everything else before you actually get anywhere close to killing the Kaguti. But yeah, so just don't use your weakest build, use the strongest one because yeah, all the enemies in here are quite tanky. Use something with a lot of AoE. And yeah, so there you go. All the little enemies are dead. And now, if you want, you can just let the Kaguti kill you. Because, yeah, that's probably quicker than killing it. But yeah, it's not that big of a deal. And yeah, if you're strong, it'll take a while. But if you're a Knife Blade, it'd be really good, because you can just siphoning attack yourself to death. Way Shrine, and then we're out of here. So this is the exit here. And it takes you back to wherever you came in from too, so it's very convenient. So yeah, that's a very easy trio. Only takes you a few minutes. Alright, so spending Archival Fortunes, you do this in Infinite Archive here. So there's 3 merchants. There's 2 over here in this part, and there's 1 over here. So there's these 2 merchants. This one here sells you all the armor sets that you can get, and it gives you unidentified and curated. So the difference between these 2 is unidentified gives you a random item. This one will give you an item that is not already part of your collection. So say you already have all the armor, you can only get weapons at that point, and only weapons that you haven't collected. So it's obviously these are more expensive, but they're later on they're more reliable than these ones are going to be, because they won't give you anything that you already have. Yeah, it can be quite helpful there, but yeah, it just depends. These cost 2,000, so that's all you want to spend anyway, so you can just get one of them if you want to do it. Tesors here gives you just some like bits and bobs, some furniture items, and some like basically consumables, or containers that give you random stuff. You can get you can get some good stuff like Scribing Altar, or some like a skill style and stuff like that. Most of this stuff though is very expensive, but yeah, you can get some like clothing materials, or like some other stuff here. And if you want to craft any skill, you could probably just go some provision, or like anything here, and that would also work. Yeah, most of this stuff is very expensive. And over here you've also got some stuff. There is 2,000 fortune ones here, so you got scripts, and then you've also got some like a treasure map or a blueprint. That stuff is, yeah, it's okay. And yeah, this stuff here is not too expensive either. You've got a couple leads for some of the mythics in this game, so you can also get those. I don't... Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, it does show you. Oh man, that's an add-on. Anyway, so yeah, Rock and Steam Guards is one of them, and Snow Traders is the other. If you're looking for those mythics, then yeah, these leads are for those. But yeah, only really go for mythics if they're hard to get. Like for example, I'd go for the one for the Death Dealer's Feet, which is like the Dragon Star Arena one, because I just cannot be bothered doing Dragon Star Arena for that lead. Fuck that. Or maybe the one for Ruins of Mazatun too, if you want to get the sorry, what are they called? The Wading Kilt. Harpooner's Wading Kilt. Yeah, stuff like that. That's the only reason I do it. So yeah, you can find Apocrypha for doing this on the top left side of the map. You go in here, and then it's over here. And everybody has access to this area, so everybody can do this, but again, I don't recommend it. Alright, that'll do it for this set. If you have any other questions, just let me know. Also, I guess I could also mention that in the Archival Wings, there are containers that you can loot, like urns and containers and stuff. There's none that I can see here, but sometimes it does happen. So you can loot those for the containers endeavor, and they can sometimes have some quite lucrative blueprints, but it's quite rare for that to happen, mostly for the containers. And yeah, still wouldn't bother with this anyway. I'd just do the guaranteed ones in the Oridon Pier. Okay. Yeah, I'll leave it there. Any questions, just give me a holler as always. But yeah, I will be making a video for the Gone Pursuit stuff, but it's kind of hard to do that on my own. It's gonna take a while because I need to do some. I'd have to do some dungeons and stuff like that. Yeah, I'll see how it goes. All right, take care everyone for now. I'll see you next time. Yeah, thanks for the support as always.